If you've been watching this channel for a while, you'll know that I've been talking a lot about AI automation, NAN, building systems that actually do work. But today I'm going to talk about something that is genuinely one of the most underrated tools Anthropic has released right now, and that is Claude Cowork. This is going to be a full walkthrough, cover what it is, where it's come from, and then the different ways that you can use it, where you can find plugins and skills. And we're going to talk about safety. I've seen in communities people talking about concerns, and they are completely valid. We're going to cover safety toward the end. So let's get into it. What is Claude Cowork and how did it get started? Why does it exist? Here's the thing. When Anthropic built Claude Code, which is their agentic coding tool, they started noticing something interesting. Developers weren't just using it for coding, they were using it for everything. Writing reports, organising files, doing research, building spreadsheets. All this knowledge work, and it had nothing to do with coding, which is what it was built for. Anthropic saw this and thought, well, okay, the agentic architecture we built for Claude Code is genuinely useful for anyone doing complex knowledge work. It's not just for developers. So they took the same engine and packaged it into something that doesn't require you to open a terminal. And that is Claude Cowork. It's in research preview. It's not been out for very long. It's still being developed. But it's available right now for all paid Claude plans, Pro, Max, Team, Enterprise. And you can access it through the Claude desktop app on either Mac or Windows. So the key difference from normal Claude chat is this: instead of going back and forth one message at a time, you can describe a complex outcome, hit go, and then Claude breaks it into subtasks, coordinates them in parallel if needed, and comes back to you with finished, polished output. It can create real Excel files with working formulas, proper PowerPoint decks, organised folders, and not just text that you have to go and fix. If you download the desktop app, you've got your normal chat, and then you can access Cowork through here. You've also got Claude Code. So on Cowork, you can give it read and write access to the files on your machine. No uploading, no downloading, no copy and pasting. You just point it at a folder and it can get to work. You can select the folder on here, and you can also upload files like we would normally. For big tasks, Claude could spin up multiple agents working in parallel. It's like coordinating work in the way that a team would. And they're professional outputs. We're talking like actual Excel files with VLOOKUP and conditional formatting. PowerPoint presentations, formatted work documents, not just CSVs, not Markdown, but proper business files. I want to talk about plugins. Anthropic's got their own built-in plugins. And plugins are like ready-made bundles that give Claude a specific set of capabilities, commands, and context for a particular job function. You can think of them like a specialist assistant that you can drop into Cowork. You find these, if you have a look on here, on the left we've got plugins. I've got a couple of different plugins connected. We've got the marketing and customer support. We can click on plus button here and then click on the plus icon and click on browse plugins. And these extend how Claude performs tasks. And all you need to do, you can see here we've got these, you can click on those to manage them. That's because they're already installed, or if you want to install another one, you just click on it and then that's installed. You've got a bunch of different plugins: customer support, marketing, bio research, finance, enterprise research, data, legal, product management, productivity, and sales. So this is the marketing plugin that I've got connected here. Once you've installed it, it adds a set of / commands that you can use in Cowork. Things like drafting content, planning campaigns, managing launches. Claude now has the context of a marketing professional rather than a generic assistant. If you click on commands, when we say / commands, which is what it is, if you put in a / and then brand review, or you can ask it to review, check, so you can use it in plain language as well. If you want to understand where those are, what to do, then you can just come into the plugin, click on commands, click through the different things that it's got, and then the / commands appear in here. You can also read through the information. This will help you understand a little bit better how each of those functions work. And you can click edit and edit those. And if you look on here, we've got connectors. Quick look. So on the connectors, if you say like with commands, and one of them is an SEO audit, and you can read through. I won't read through it all now, but if you navigate to this section, we can see that Claude will do basically like web search. But for more precise data, you can actually connect third-party tools, and those are like connectors. If you've done on-site SEO, there's a platform called they're on here. You've got platforms like Ahrefs. So if you wanted to get a better result, you could add that connector, and then this tool would use that third-party tool to improve the results. And to do that, you just click on connectors, and then we've got like this one here. We can install Ahrefs. You can see how from the traditional chat through to what Claude Cowork offers are much better. I've also got the customer support one, and then very same. So you can go into commands, we can read through, and then we've also got connectors from that. Like you can connect it directly to Slack, HubSpot, Notion, Microsoft 365, and then we can have a look on skills. If you read through this and then you wanted to personalize it, again, you just click on the edit tab, and Claude will work with you to edit it, and you can make that more specific to your business. So where do these actually live? Anthropic hosts all of these official plugins inside of their app here. You just click on there, click browse plugins. You can also upload plugins, and if you go onto GitHub, you can go into Anthropic's skills here. And there is a lot of different skills that we've got, and you can browse through these in your own time. There are also third-party ones, but toward the end of the video we're getting to safety, and there are some safety things there to be concerned about. Anthropic does recommend using their own authorized plugins and skills. Now, alongside Anthropic's plugins, there's something else that I wanted to show you, because this is the bigger ecosystem picture. This is agentskills.io, and this is where the open standard for agent skills lives. Here's how to think about it. Anthropic originally developed agent skills format for Claude. It's essentially a folder structure with a skills.md file that tells an agent exactly how to do something specifically. So like a detailed procedural brief that gives the agent expert level context on demand. But Anthropic released it as an open standard, so now other tools are adopting it. You can build a skill once and then have it work across multiple agent products. For Claude Cowork, the skills live in settings, Cowork, and then Claude Desktop. You'll see where you can upload a custom skill file, and you can get those over at GitHub. If we go over to Anthropic skills, we can see there's different skills in here. Let you browse those in your own time. On the agentskills.io site, there is a full specification if you want to build your own, and we'll be touching on that. You can create your own plugins, and Anthropic actually ships a plugin to help you do that exactly. It's called Plugin Create. It's in the plugin library. You can install it, describe what you want the plugin to do, and Claude works with you to build it. And that's going to be where the real customization starts. Building something specific to your business, your workflow, your team's process. And we'll go deeper in custom plugins and skills in future videos. So a quick note for people who have also been looking at Claude Code. Claude Code also has skills. And you may have seen the skill.md pattern if you've worked with it. But it's worth noting that they work a bit differently to how Cowork handles plugins and skills. The architecture is similar at the base level, but the way that you access and deploy them and interface around them is quite different. I'm going to be doing a dedicated episode on Claude Code skills specifically, so I'll keep it brief here, but I just wanted to flag so you're not confused if you start looking at it. If you come over to Claude.com plugins, you'll see there's a lot of different plugins here, and a lot of these that are directed towards Claude code and developers. If we just highlight the Claude Cowork, we've got these ones here which you can access through the desktop app. Something else to note when it comes to skills, if we navigate to settings inside of Cowork, scroll down, you can also see that you've got another section here for skills where you can add new skills. You can either create them with Claude, write the skill instruction, or you can upload the skill. Now let me show you one of the most impressive parts of this whole ecosystem, and that is Claude in Chrome. This is a browser extension. Once it's installed, you get a side panel in Chrome, and Claude can literally see what's on your screen and interact with websites on your behalf. If you head over to connectors, you've got Claude in Chrome, and then we can click on configure. So I've already done this. Now let me get Chrome up and give you a quick demo. Inside Google Chrome, you want to head over to extensions and then add in the Claude extension. And obviously inside the app, we've got a section there where we can configure that. It's going to ask you to log in, and then once you've logged in, you'll see you'll get this side panel. And then we can just ask Claude questions like we would in a normal chat, but this time we can actually see what's on your browser. So we're going to give it a simple task now, find out how we use Claude skills. And then before it does anything, it's going to give you an explanation of what its plan is. We can see we've got this nice little orange glow coming up around the side of the screen. That shows that Claude's working in that. And then you need to click to approve the plan. And I'm not touching anything now. This is actually doing everything itself. So it's navigated over to Claude's documentation. We're going to have to approve it again. Claude wants to read the page content on this page, so we can allow this action. Claude wants to read the content on platform.claude, allow it, and then Claude wants to read this. So you can see at each stage it's going to ask for your permission to read through. If at any time whilst you're getting it to perform tasks for you, if you're not happy with what's happening, and we're going to go on to safety in just a minute, but you can just click on here to stop Claude. Once that browser extension's installed, Claude can literally see what's on your screen and interact with websites on your behalf. Claude reads the page, takes actions, and gives you results without you having to copy and paste anything. When you're using Cowork, it has access to Claude in Chrome as well. So you can give Cowork a research task, and it will go out, browse files, pull information, synthesize it, and write it up into formatted documents, all hands-free. And this is available on all paid plans. You can install it from the Chrome web store, and it will connect to your account automatically. I want to be real with you for a minute. Let's talk about safety, because I've read comments in communities and the concerns people raise are genuinely valid. But this isn't me dismantling them. I'm going to walk through exactly what Anthropic says, what the real risks are, and what you should actually do. The biggest risk is prompt injection. When Claude is browsing the web or reading files on your behalf, a malicious website or document could contain hidden instructions. It could be invisible text, encoded commands, trying to get Claude to do something that you didn't ask it for. Things like extracting your data, sending emails, making purchases. Anthropic has been transparent about this. Their testing has reduced attack success rates to around 1% against their current test suite. And that sounds small, but it is not zero. And they themselves say that the chances of an attack are still not zero. Anthropic safety measures, they've built in model training using reinforcement learning, so Claude is trained to recognize and refuse malicious instructions, even when they seem legitimate. They scan all untrusted content, entering Claude's context. And there are granular permissions, site block lists for high-risk categories such as banking, financial sites, and action confirmation for things like purchases. But there's a few things that you should do. So number one, you should be selective about file access. Don't point Cowork at a folder full of financial documents, passwords, or sensitive client data. create a dedicated working folder for Claude. The second thing would be to limit browser access to trusted sites. The default is intentionally restricted, and you don't want to extend that broadly. 3, you can watch for unexpected behaviour. If Claude starts accessing files or sites that you didn't mention, or the task scope starts creeping, you can stop it immediately. And 4, just be careful with MCPs. Only use verified extensions from the Claude desktop directory. And 5, use a separate Chrome profile without access to sensitive accounts like banking and healthcare and legal stuff. So you can keep those separate. So you can have a separate Chrome account that Claude can use. Now, my take, whether it's safe to run on your local machine, and honestly, for certain use cases, those concerns are fair. And that's why I'm working on a video specifically about running Claude in a secure environment on web hosting, so it's not on your local machine. Your sensitive files aren't at risk, and you have a more controlled setup. And that's coming soon. Subscribe if you want to catch that one. What are the use cases? Once you've got it set up safely, what will you actually use it for? Well, for business owners, you think about anything that involves pulling information together and creating a formatted output, like expense reports from a folder of receipts, market research compiled into client-ready PDFs, a content calendar built from your rough notes. For marketing, you can install the marketing plugin and give Cowork a brief. It'll draft campaigns, plan content, write copy. With Claude in Chrome, you can even go and research competitors while it's at it. For customer support, the customer support plugin combined with Cowork file access means Claude can reference your knowledge base, draft responses, and categorize tickets. For research, you can give it a topic, point it at a set of documents or URLs, and let it synthesize everything into a structured report with headings, takeaways, and action items. For productivity, you could organize your downloads folder, batch and rename files, create project templates, the kind of tedious file management work that takes an hour and involves zero thinking. That's Claude Cowork, what it is, where it came from, and a quick walkthrough on how you can find things. And a bit to think about on the security. It's a research preview and there are rough edges, but the direction is clear and the capability is real. For business owners and knowledge workers who aren't developers, this is the closest thing to having an AI that actually does work rather than just answering questions. Coming up in this series, I want to show you how to run Claude in a secure hosted environment, and then we'll go deep on building plugins, skills, and different business productivity use cases. If you found this useful, subscribe. I'm putting out new episodes on this regularly. Drop a comment with the use case that you would most like to see a demo of. See you in the next video.